Hello everybody, and I absolutely apologize for yesterday, but as I said in the video description and I made a post on the community tab, I just couldn't take it anymore. And thank you, Beth. And the thing is that I got a lot of very well wishing messages and a couple comments giving me advice and everything. What happens, I want to thank from all my heart that you wanted to be so helpful, but that's not the case. I mean, I do not have a lumbar issue, or the only damage to my spine is in my neck. Hi Frank, and the problem that I have with my back comes from, and I actually thought of showing you exactly what's happening. I didn't want to get too, obviously I'm not going to show you boobs because I don't want the live to be flagged, but I still want to kind of explain to you what the whole thing is about. Okay, so let me get this down, and I'm going to explain to you what is my problem actually. As some of you know, I had breast cancer and I had breast reconstruction, and the type of breast reconstruction I had is that they took this muscle here, see this one, this big one here, and they cut it from here, and then they tunneled it under the arm, and they brought him in the front to cover the implants, because they had to scoop too close to my skin and there wasn't enough tissue to cover the implants. So that leaves these muscles that were underneath the other one to hold my torso upright. And because the doctor didn't realize that I used to be an athlete, so that muscle was very developed, the remaining muscles cannot compensate. So if I stand or sit for more than like 15-20 minutes, I start hurting. But after about an hour, the muscles on my back start spasming and burning, and it's really unbearable. The only thing that fixes it is to lay down. I mean, that's all it is. I have better days and I have worse days. And unfortunately, Saturday, after I had the sponsors live in the morning, I went to do some gardening because there are some roses in my garden that need to be trimmed and other stuff. And I guess I didn't recover enough. So that's why I had issues. But hopefully today I'll be able to finish this cane. Hi Robin. Okay, now that we got the anatomy out of the way, let's go ahead and finish this. So this is one of the corners of the triangle that I said the cane will be, and it's going to be a fairly large one. Hopefully I'll be able to reduce it. But anyway, so this will be one of the corners. Then the wasabi will be, because this was the yellow corner, the wasabi will be here, and the red will be here, because remember I did the wasabi, I did the yellow and white, wasabi and white, and then red and white, and then I did two of these, and those will go right here. That way, when we'll start going to that flipping of the slice, it's going to create a brocade pattern. Well, you know, Robin, we all have to go through what we have to go. So, you know, we can only cope with what we have. And life goes on. But that is the reason why, one of the reasons why I have to take pain meds. The other one is that chemo fried my nerves. So my nerves send pain signals to the brain where there is no physical reason for the pain. And the other thing is that I have, because of the estrogen inhibitor I had to take for almost 5 years, it caused severely fast advancing osteoarthritis, and it's in my neck essentially. So I have what's called spondylitis and spondylolisthesis. That means that there's almost no disc between the vertebrae, and also the vertebrae are slipped a little bit, and there's narrowing of the spine marrow canal. So that's why my hands and arms are so weak, and I have so many issues. But this is not me trying to whine about, oh my God, what a hard life I have. It's me about trying to make you understand why I haven't been doing so good, because everything, all the stuff, all the side effects from cancer treatment I have are degenerative, so they'll never get better. My only hope is to they'll get worse as time goes by. My only hope is to not let them go bad as fast. So there we go. Okay, so let's create the green wasabi, not green, because I didn't want too harsh colors. Yellow is not a harsh color, but to use a green here would have been a little bit too harsh. That's why I wanted the wasabi. And I'm not like Teresa. Because I still remember Teresa Salgado in one of her tutorials. She was like, sometimes I think that I'm using wasabi just because I like to say wasabi. I'm using because I like it. In my mind, actually, it's more of an avocado color than a wasabi. And I'm not sure if I told you the story, but I got really messed up one time because of the whole wasabi and avocado thing. That was when I was working at Tinker Air Force Base, and we had, you know, like a small, when we had the quarterly awards, they would always have a little, kind of like, I don't know how to call it, cocktail party, reception, something like that. And of course it was all buffet. And I saw, you know, on the buffet plates, there was what looked like guacamole, because, you know, generally when they serve guacamole in buffets, they use the ice cream scoop to put the globs of guacamole. So I got myself a glob of guacamole, and I got like half of it in my mouth, and within 10 seconds I couldn't talk because it wasn't guacamole, it was wasabi. So I prefer to call this avocado. Okay, bear with me. All right, so 1 1/4 inches, that would be, I said, will be the height. I didn't cut there very, probably I should put my readers on. Okay. And another 1 1/4. And then I'll have this little thing that might be used for other stuff. And this is not all the way. And there we go. And then here I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going first to, oops, It's okay, it's gonna be black there anyway, no problem. I'm going to make this a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. And another one a little bit longer and a little bit thinner. And the third one I'll leave it as is. But this time what I'm going to do is, this is too big to be handled properly. Ouch. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I cut it a little bit thinner than that, narrower, not thinner than that. But then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to actually thin out the end here. And I'm going to cut it out about 1/2 inch longer. And roll this in. And then gently, I'm trying to find a spot, gently flatten it, gently teardrop it. Hi, Natalia. And it is a little bit longer than the other one, but we can always. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, but getting it backwards a little. So first and this doesn't need to be cut too much, and then do again the same teardrop thing. And teardrop it. Finnegan! Who are you pestering? Seamus, leave him alone. Finnegan is in zooming mode, so he's pestering the big guys. So we have these here, and then I'm going to have one more black. But not yet. So this one, what I actually want to do, and what I am going to do, is to get it through a thin setting. And then I'm going to fan fold it about 1/3 of an inch. And I want to make it into pretty much a half circle. But the half circle has to go Let's cut off the ends here. The half circle has to go like this. So I'm going to, let me switch the camera here to show you exactly what I'm doing and refocus it. Because even if it's small, you should still be able to see how to transform a rectangular into a half circle. So I have the rectangle right here. I have the rectangle right here. Let me get it. And what I want to do is to have, because you have to think that once these triangular slices get put together, this will become a full circle. But what I want from my circle is to be lighter on one side and darker greenish on the other side. So what I need to do is to start gently flattening these two of the sides here. And I don't want it to be a triangle. I only want it to be a half circle pretty much. So I can do a little bit of this, but not allow it to become a full circle or a triangle, right? So let's get back to this. Hold on, I don't want to get my camera unscrewed here. And let me refocus. Okay. So now I have this, and I have this. So what I want to do, because you notice one of these has the green on the bottom, one of these has the white on the bottom. What I want to do is to kind of create like lotus thingy. Hold on. I want to create like a lotus thingy. That would be like, so this is the idea. Okay, let's see if I manage to do that. And then there's going to be black here, and then there's going to be one thing coming a little bit like this, and then another thing coming a little bit like this, so that when it gets put together, it's going to mirror, right? And then there's going to be, I might put a little sausage here or here. We'll see, just to make this prettier. Let's see how that works and if I manage to do it. No, I need my glasses. I don't need the pencil anymore. Okay, so let's gently pull this over this black and then start rolling, because I don't really want them completely spirally, but I want them to come in. So pretty much like this. Let's do this other one too. Actually, this might be a little bit, because I want this one to be on the outside. I want the green up one to be more on the inside. And of course we need some black here. So let me get some black from this. Because yeah, if you are wondering if there's any method to my madness, yes there is. Okay, cutting it on a diagonal so it would fit nicely in this thing here. and then I'm going to bring it over, but here I'm going to thin it out. And there we go. And I'm going to obviously need some pieces of black in here so that the semicircle doesn't get, because this is going to be like this, right? So you see I need another little piece here. So let's place another little piece here. And then I'm gonna bring this over, and then in order to make this on a perfect line, I need first to get some more black in here. We got the extra. So that I can watch this very good. And then this is good. And now let's place this one. As I said, it's not, I'm going to get it a little bit less. And let's get it here. Obviously it needs some filling in here. And am I still live? Because nobody's saying anything. And with the YouTube being the way it's been lately, I stopped trusting it too much when it comes to being able to have a good quality live. Okay, let's get one more here. So obviously I need a little bit here to finish this corner. Remember, I find it that it's much easier to just, this is too much here, to just add more than needed and then just cut it off, and then to try to fill exactly to the millimeter. Thank you for the mesmerized. Okay, and now let's fill this end up too. Again, I'm going to do a diagonal here so that it comes nicer on this end. And here, whenever you add these, you have to be careful not to trap air. That's an absolute must. And I said I might get in here some color, and I am going to. See, I have this little thing here that I can go with it through the pasta machine on thin. And then roll it. I know it's not tall enough, but we're gonna make it tall enough here in a second. I don't know about the thing. Okay, maybe I'll have acrylic drop. It used to be somewhere here. There it is. And I'm going to use one of these cane benders. If you don't have the cane benders, you can simply use a wooden dowel or a paintbrush handle or stuff like that. And I'm placing this here, and obviously I do want some fillings because I don't want that little round thing to get too squished. Hi, Renea. Okay. And you kind of look, do you have enough here? It looks like there's enough here to not get the little rounded things too squished. Let's do another. This like this, or this like this. It's like this. So let's do another diagonal cut here. And place this here. There we go. Now the red part. Oh my goodness, thank you, Anastasia. But you know, you can always watch it in replay. You don't have to stay up so long. Okay, now let me think. What can we do with this? So number one, let me cut one thing. And a quarter one, and then this one I'm going to create a teardrop, and I'm not gonna cut it because I can, you know, squish it. So again, I'm going to fan it. So right now I'm just working it rectangular, right? Because I want to bring it to the proper height. It's going to get a little bit longer once I start manipulating it to create the teardrop. And the way that I want the teardrop to be, and again, because it's going to be folded and mirrored, I want to do half a teardrop, right? And the way that I want my, and it's going to be more like a flower petal than a teardrop, but I want it to be with the tip white, but I want the white to continue on the inside of the teardrops. So the way that I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it kind of first, treat this like if it were a diamond, not a square. So I'm going to do this first. Then, to show you, I thought that with the acrylic should be better. I'm going to bring both sides down here to create first pretty much a half circle. And I'm gonna roll it just a little bit to make sure it's nice and round. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this part in a little bit. I'm trying to be able to show you, so I'm going to get this part in a little bit, the red part, and then I'm going to start elongating the white part and gently flattening a little bit. So remember, this part, the red part, needs to be flattened in a little bit, and the white part pinched up. So you'll have something like this. It's almost like half a heart. Just make sure that this part doesn't go in, because then you'll have a heart. If you want to keep it a teardrop, this has to be pretty much even, like on a perpendicular to this line. Carrera? What is a Carrera? Okay, now let's wrap this in black. And this is a little bit too high. And this one is a little bit too high, but I have to cut some stuff out of it. And I can, without a problem, cut the whole thing here, because everything I'm going to have to wrap is going to be the same width. So I got this wrapped. Now I'm going to make a little petalish like thing. So this I want to pinch so it would sit properly here. And whenever your slices are not, or whatever it is not the perfect width, just gently pull. It's fine. Nothing's going to happen to it. So this needs black right here. And I'm going to cut this on a diagonal and then remove the white and place the other diagonalish thing here and bring it all the way to the bottom. And then here we are going to place a, let's see, getting this and this together, still following the same thing. I'm going to make a small sausage, so the remains from the teardrop, right? I'm gonna make a small sausage that's more reddish on one side and more whitish on the other. And I'm going to place it here with the whitish towards the outside. And then let me make some black sausage. Black sausage. Okay, so a little bit thinner, and then again one here, and let's roll this a little. Make sure that it's well put here. Roll this a little bit back, just a little. So I just covered that area here, and then I need, you see, I need to put something else here. So let's play with a little bit of red, because we are in the red corner, right? Now remember, to get these even, you hold on one end and then you gently do this while pulling, but don't press too hard. Hi, Chris. Press a little bit while going away, and you will be thinning out your sausage evenly. You will get this perfect sausage like if you were using an extruder, and like this you can go to very, very, very thin without a problem. Okay, so because remember, here we need to create a triangle like this, so we need to fill up this. So I'm going to be adding some reds, and let's do another one right here. And then of course I need to fill the space in between the reds with black, so they don't get over squished. Okay. And then we'll need more stuff on here. So let me me see, can I use just white? I think I can use just white. Nobody's going to mind. Only if I can find the white. If I didn't use it before. Okay, I think I'm gonna start my massage. Come on. There we go. I hope it's not too loud. Okay, there we go. There's another leftover. I am just trying not to make not to waste time by making more Skinner blends. Normally I would make some more Skinner blends here, but let's do this. It's gonna look pretty no matter what. Grab more black sausages to fill up this whole area as a triangle. Okay, and we can cover this up. So see, I'm placing them right now on the sides and then on top of the red, so that I can add some of this here. And it's fine if the color is a little bit changing throughout, it's gonna be just fine, no worries. Not lose all my design here and see where I am. So this is pretty much it at this point. It's not all the way down because I have this other thing coming up. So this is pretty much the whole thing. So this should be good. So all I have to do is to fill up this area with black. So I might have to go get more black. So these by themselves can make canes. All these triangles by themselves can make kaleidoscope canes. Hi, Bertie. But then you can put them together and create. Can you use stuff that you already made? Yes, as long as the filler is the same color. So another triangular, and this time I'm gonna go only from here. I'm just creating the corner here. Let me cut this. I didn't need both of these. Is it a lot of clay messed up? Yeah. But this is what happens when you have such a huge cane. But never mind, these can be used for beads. no problem. We'll make some beads hopefully before I'm done with all of this. Or this one can actually be a nice pendanty stuff, right? Because this is pretty much how it looks like when it's together. Okay, so let me trim this one to basics. Might add something to this one. I'm not super happy with it. Let's see. Might be a little bit too bland. It's okay. It's not too bad. So these are the designs that we have for now that will be in the corners, right? And they will go, let's see, like this, pretty much. So now I'm going to need some more black here, but what I think I'm going to do, because otherwise this is going to be way too big for my hands to handle. What I'm going to do, I'm going to gently reduce these so that the final cane is going to be a little bit less massive. Now remember, whenever you reduce a triangle cane, never press on the sides, because if you press on the sides, it's going to bow inwards. So you always press on the top, press down on the top. When I press on here, I press like this, not down. It still needs to be reduced on the sides as well, because otherwise the sides will stay behind. But to reduce generally the triangle, and you might have to pull out on the sides, on the edges. And if you want to keep it from losing too much clay, you just brace it against the tile. I'm not saying that my method of reducing canes is better than somebody else's. I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay? I'm not saying that it's the best. I'm telling you stuff that I discovered in the years of making canes. I'm well establishing my corners. So now I'm pulling. Notice how I'm pulling. And then I'm going to try and hold it from pushing out. Am I going to lose clay? Definitely, because especially because, as I said, this black clay I had was quite soft. Not as soft and nasty as that white that we had towards the end of last year, and that lasted through winter, but still not a happy thing to have. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut it again. Okay, this one I cut it a little bit too much. Okay, so remember the one on the top has to be straight circle, straight angle, but this is going to be like this. That's what's the problem. This is going to be like this. And this one is going to be like this or like this, but that means I need to change this angle a bit. Needs to be more flattened, because I need this to be a right angle in order to obtain that. Can we do it just like this? Yes, we can. And then I just need a black thing to avoid the other stuff. Or I can make another central thing there and just keep this for the bottom between the triangles. But I think I'm going to extend this to next Saturday and just show you with the end of this how this can be a kaleidoscope by itself. Can I reduce this? Of course I can reduce this. I was just looking for another model here. But I'm gonna try and reduce this a little bit so that I can cut it and kaleidoscope it. It's not gonna be perfect considering it's the end of a cane, but it can be done. Gonna have quite a bit of loss. That's fine. I'm gonna still be able to get the idea of how this can be done. Okay, let me cut it in 3. And I'm simply going to make it into a half circle. And you're gonna have a very, very delicate cane that works beautifully for earrings and things like that, or even for a tiny pendant if you so want. But yeah, this is how these work by themselves, and this would be to make a kaleidoscope, but you can make it 4 radial too. Let me refocus. Hi, Tia Lisa. Okay, so this is how it looks like made into, one of them looks like made into a kaleidoscope. As you can see, it's almost like, I don't know, porcelain or enamel stuff insert. So any of these 3, you can use it as is. So I'm going to finish this beacon. I'm going to wrap it and finish it next Saturday. And because I'm going to make, next Saturday, I'm going to make 1 more of these and then show you the different combinations. And then, goodness help, we will do reduction on at least 1 of the combinations, because I'm going to reduce these even more, so, and the 4th one, so that they can be combined, and I can show you the different brocade patterns you can get with all this. But if you want to start, and you got the whole principle is to, you can layer some petalish stuff and you can insert some sausages, but the whole thing is to layer nicely swirly skinner blendy stuff, and then you get this beautiful, very fine, very delicate composition. And if you make it, now be very careful, because if you use do and try it, if you want to try it, because I can assure you it's beautiful. Place ultramarine, make a skinner blend with ultramarine, cobalt blue and white, or just cobalt blue and white, or ultramarine and white, and instead of black use white. So you'll have the same thing as here, but with blue, ultramarine or cobalt, and white. Don't go all the way to the white, okay? Go to like if you'd have this only to about here, so before it becomes fully white, where it's a little bit in between, you know, a lighter blue. And then do this stuff with that skinner blend of light blue and deep blue and white instead of black, and this will look like that cobalt porcelain, and you will be able to make, and just by making it like this, and just by cutting, you know, pill, what we call pill beads, you know, just the simple flat beads, just like this beads, and then poke a hole through them like this on the side. So let me grab the poke a hole thing, just, and you can poke the hole before baking them or after baking them. Maybe one of these days I'll make a tutorial like that, because they look beautiful. They look like they are made, you get a bracelet or a necklace made of cobalt porcelain, you know, that Victorian type porcelain with blue designs of flowers. And so you just bake it like this, and it's very easy to sand and make flat, and you can just varnish it. You don't have to buff it. It looks better if it is sanded and buffed, but if you put just small white or blue beads in between, you make a beautiful, very delicate bracelet. And if you can make these at different sizes, tiered, and you can make a necklace. And of course you can make them like this. I mean, but this is the style that you want to use, with multiple skinner blendy things, and then you can add something in the middle that would look like a petal of something. See, like this. Because once you make these specific ones into kaleidoscopes or radials, kaleidoscopes is better, they will look all nice and delicate like this. Another way that you can do them is with translucent. They will look like they are made out of glass. Okay, use translucent instead of the black. And with translucent, mix, your best bet is to make a Skinner blend with any of the metallic pearlescent colors and pearl white, but mix about, so let's say you have 1 square of magenta pearl and 1 square of white pearl, and you get something like this. Put another square, but like half and half, of just white clay, because if you use just pearlescent or metallic in a cane, it's going to look not very good. You'll just get the, you know, the dark, dull side of the mica. But if you mix some white into it, you can actually mix white and a little bit of cadmium yellow, you know, to go with the gold. But then you'll get a very nice, very glassy-ish design. They will almost look like, you know, glass beads of sorts. And then you can also do another thing that you can do with them that is very easy to achieve. It's not gonna look perfect, me doing it like this right now, but if you get, let's say I'm gonna get all the really unusable stuff here and make a bead. But when you get, and you can do the same with the white and blue, the cobalt porcelain like things, but this is not going to cut very well because it's very soft, but still I can still show you. So you get this whole, you get slices, that have to be just a little bit wider than your bead itself. Just make sure that you keep the slice round. And then you make your bead. Yes, it's going to have an edge of the filler clay, but it's gonna look just beautiful, trust me. And then just put these together, inseam here. Yeah, it's going to look a little bit lentil-like in the beginning. You can leave it lentil-like, but what I like to do, just gently press, gently press, gently press, until you get a pretty much spherical, and then you can finish it in your, thank you, Cara. So you get a round bead. And then of course you can poke. I would go through the whatever is not, this is not really a poke bead thingy, but where it's not a lot of and always check if you did a good poking by rolling this. As you can see, this one is not very good because it does have a little bit of wobbling, but as I said, this is not really the poke thing I use when poking holes in the beads. So I already gave you an idea to work on, a few ideas to work on, and we'll finish this next Sunday, and then we'll move back to flowers. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for understanding, and I shall see you Sunday. Have a wonderful week. Goodbye.